friends. Welcome to our channel, the Sun City Stitchers. I'm Carlene.
And I'm Marlene, and this is Flosstube number 107.
Hi, everyone. We hope all of you who are mothers and grandmothers have had a beautiful, beautiful Mother's Day this past Sunday. We want to welcome back all of our returning viewers. Thank you so much for stopping by and visiting us. Welcome to our new subscribers. We had a number of you again last time we did a video. Yes. So welcome to our channel.
And if you're just new for the first time and just finding us, we hope you like what you see and you will consider subscribing.
Yes, for sure. This episode, we are coming to you from the shores of Table Rock Lake. It's
Southwest Missouri.
Southwest corner of Missouri. This is what we are in the home that our mother had on the lake. And she left it to the 5 of us girls. So our cover photo this week, and Marlene is holding a photograph of Mother that was taken on her 91st birthday, which was in 2021. And she got sick right after that and never really made a full recovery. And we lost her the next February. So it's been 3 years since we've lost her. And so Mother's Day was filled with lots of very loving memories. But still, it's kind of an emptiness because she's not with us anymore. But we have wonderful memories, and she left us a beautiful home on the lake that we really dearly love coming to and visiting. So we have some other, just a few little life updates we'll do. But before we do that, we wanted to just share with you a couple of pieces. You'll see on the buffet in back of us, these are stitch pieces.
I'm going to take a thread off of you. You have a piece of thread.
Oh. These are stitch pieces that Mother did, and I fully finished them for her, and we're going to show you a couple of others. So Marlene has one, so we thought we'd just share.
She did a little spool. This was from FaithWorks, so she did this little spool.
Sunshine Garden. And then I have one. This was called a Good Time Series. And it came with this little frame, and then each month had a different little wooden piece that just Velcros on the frame. But this was the one for May. Bless this nest. So she did that one, and then I fully finished it for her into the little frame. So she had a set of all 12 of them are finished. We have just a few things left because after she passed away, we had divided up many of the cross-stitch pieces that she did. And all of the sisters, all of her daughters, got a set of things that she had made, and all of her grandchildren got some of the smaller pieces that she made. So everybody got a small collection of stitched pieces that Mom had done. So we don't have a lot left, but we left a few things here because we knew we were going to be visiting the house, and it's nice to have things that she made still here in her home. So we wanted to share those, and then we'll do a little bit of life update.
Okay, so as we said, we're here at the lake house that used to be our mom's, but we got here last Friday
Saturday.
Last Saturday.
We got here Saturday.
Last Saturday. And so then we spent Saturday and Sunday and Monday here at the lake, and then on Tuesday we went into Joplin, and that was the day our sister was scheduled for her surgery. So she had her surgery. Everything went very, very well, and she got to come home on Wednesday and to her house in Joplin.
Yeah, so we were there in Joplin.
So we spent Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in Joplin. And she, like I said, she's feeling very well. She's not having hardly any pain. And she's just on like regular over-the-counter kinds of meds to manage her pain. And so then she wanted to come back down to the lake today. So she's just doing very, very well. So thank you all for all of you who said prayers and well wishes. Left well wishes for her. She
Yeah.
greatly appreciated those.
And so did we.
So yes, and so did we.
So we're very happy. She's doing really well. In fact, she's almost doing a little too well because she forgets that she has lifting restrictions.
Yes.
So Marlene had to use her crankiest teacher voice yesterday because we caught her picking something up that she should not have been lifting. So she got in a little trouble. So she's downstairs sitting on the patio looking out at the lake right now, and we told her, well, we're going to leave you unsupervised, but we're not sure if we really trust you. But she looked like she was behaving the last time I
She said she was going to get her stitching out, so that should keep her busy and out of trouble, hopefully.
while we film. So anyway, so thank you all for your well wishes.
Thank you so much.
We truly appreciate that you took time to leave a comment, and that so many of you commented and wished her well. So thank you.
Yes. So, and then other than that, I took this week off from my tutoring schedule, but I am going to do tutoring next week again. So
she brought a little laundry basket with all of her needed materials, so she can set up shop here.
I'm only going to have about 5 students right now because several of my students are finishing up with their school year, so their parents just wanted them to take a little break and do that. So so I'm not going to have very many students, so it'll be a light schedule.
Yes.
So that'll be nice.
So that was good. So, okay, I think that's enough of catching up.
Again, you wanted to say as far as Charlie?
No, he's just finishing up the school year. He's at home taking care of Mickey and Minnie. Honey came with us. She's laying right here on the table, but she's being very nice. So I don't know that she's going to make an appearance like Mickey does. But so everything's going good at home. Charlie's holding the fort down. When I talked to him last night, the cats were outside having supervised outdoor playtime. So everything was going well. So nothing else, just getting through the last few weeks of the school year for him.
Yes, that's right. So,
we did do a giveaway last time. And so the first thing we're going to do for a giveaway is the $10 gift card to Fat Quarter Shop. And so, Marlene, who was the winner of the gift card?
Okay, so that winner was Stitching by the River, 8666.
So, Stitching by the River, 8666. Congratulations. Our contact information will be in the description box below. Just send us an email, and then I will do a gift card sent electronically from Fat Quarter Shop. So, we will do that. And then we gave away 2 tote bags celebrating our 3rd Flossiversary. And those are back in El Paso. So the winners, if you will just be a little patient with us, we will not get those mailed out until we get back to El Paso.
So it'll be the end of May.
Very end of May. So it'll be a couple of weeks before we get them mailed, but then we will get them mailed to you right away. Yes. So who are the winners of the tote bags?
Okay, so the first winner for the tote bag is Press by Mom. And then the second bag goes to NJ Heise.
So NG maybe.
NJ.
Heise. NJ. Heise or Heise?
Heise.
Okay, so Press by Mom with only one S. PRESBY Mom.
MOM.
And then NJ HEISE. So congratulations, ladies.
Yes.
And again, just give us a little bit of time and we will get them mailed off to you right away once we return to El Paso.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Yes.
All right.
Congratulations, lady.
Even though we are not in El Paso, we did bring some fully finished. So do you want to start with yours, Marlene? Okay, so these were things I fully finished before I left El Paso, but I just stuck them in the bag and brought them along.
So this is my Blooming Tiny Town.
So this will have magnets on the back, and then we have that little white stand that we got from Paisley's and Polka Dots. So it will go on there.
Yes.
So Marlene stitched hers on 32 count country French mocha.
No, vintage country mocha.
Vintage country
mocha with all the called for floss, but I did it 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads.
And then I just used fabric from my stash of solid blue and a little lace trim that I had
It looks
for
really
in the
pretty.
back.
I like the way it looks.
And then I finished the Petite Quaker tags. This was a Faithworks design. Tiny Town, of course, is Heart and Hand.
Yes, heart and hand.
So these were a Faithworks design, and it was just a quick little make and take project that Nancy had for us one Saturday out at Stitch In. So they're just on little wooden tags. They're little Quaker motifs.
And were the tags already painted, or you
Yes,
painted
they
them?
were already red.
Okay.
And so now these are going to just come out like during sampler September or like February when I'm putting out my red things. They'll just be stuck around on tier trays and whatever.
Yeah,
So
that's cute.
very cute.
And
All right.
were the little corded hangers, were they already made for you? Or you
No,
made
I had to
those?
twist
Oh, okay.
those. I had to twist the cord. Okay.
Okay, then another one she got finished was the Halloween tier tray by Erin Elizabeth. We stitched this on 36 count pistachio by Atomic Ranch using the called for DMC floss.
And then I used the Chelsea's Checks ribbon and the Priscilla and Chelsea stripes fabric on the back.
So cute. Turned out really cute.
Yes,
It'll sit.
so those are very cute. So they'll just stand. It's just a little trifold.
Very cute.
Very cute.
Very cute. Why is one of my little loops? Oh, I guess it just didn't go in. Right.
And then I also got our Autumn Samplers by Annie Turner. Finished, fully finished. And these are actually going to go on one of the little display stands by Chantel 141 Designs. And so it'll be a magnet on the back. So
And
this
you
one,
stitched
I
yours
stitched
on?
mine on Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim, a 40 count.
And I used Vanilla Cream by Atomic Ranch, also 40 count. And we used the called for DMC floss.
And I just finished it with fabric from Stash and made a little twisted cord
Looks
to
really
pop on
pretty.
there. Yes,
Very pretty.
they turned out very nice.
I like them. Okay, so that is all of our fully finished.
Yes, and I did bring some things that are soft finishes, and I'm going to be working on those next week. So I brought a few things along. So
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I'll be working on those next week.
Okay,
All
and then
right.
Colleen had a finish.
So did you?
Oh,
I finished Lily.
sorry, I'm sleepy.
Oh, you know what? And we have a board that we're
no.
going to use. Okay. I'm sorry, little honey.
Do I need to pick her up?
Come on, sweet pea.
Oh dear.
All right. So if you will just be a little patient with us, because we are going to put our pieces on a board so that that sun in the back of us doesn't glare
Too much.
too much. So this is Lily. It's by Stacy Nash, Animal Cracker, and I did get the banding done. This is going to go on a little wooden spool.
She turned out cute.
I stitched her on
The banding will go on a little
36 count limited edition
Yeah.
Atomic Ranch fabric, and then using all the called for colors. So that is Lily. I am going to be finishing her using the tutorial that Tiger Lily Designs did. She apparently, it was in her Patreon, but then she made it public so that it's there available. I'll try to link it so that if you all need to see the tutorial, you'll be able to look at it. But it was very simple directions. There's little honey. She thinks she's gonna lay on all my stuff. So I don't know. Marlene will have to hold her in a minute.
Yes.
Okay, so which one do you have,
so
Marlene?
I finished Dogwood House. This was from the 2025 Nashville Cookbook from Market this spring.
It's so cute,
So I
Marlene.
finished that one. And I stitched it on
32 count,
32 count
Icelandic blue.
Icelandic blue from
It's just like a
yeah.
Zweigert or
Yeah.
something fabric.
And I used Weeks Dye Works floss. The called for mostly the called for a few I had to just pull from stash that I didn't have.
And am I finishing
And
this as a little pillow?
Yeah, I think so. And then
Isn't that cute?
and then I did it. I used
Adorable.
1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads.
Really cute.
So
That looks really pretty.
Mhm.
All right, now can you move your little kitty?
yes. Come here, little honey.
Maybe she'll sit on your lap.
Maybe. I can't get up to get her. Like the chairs are all pushed in and I can't get up. If I just took her, she would pull everything down.
Oh my, she's making some little noises.
Here she is.
Oh, she's complaining.
Yes.
She's not letting look at that little grumpy face. But she's very happy that her girl is home. She got left here at the lake and the neighbor came and checked on her.
Okay,
So
you
she's
hop down.
not going too far away from Marlene. All right, so here's that,
There you
Marlene.
go.
All right, then
Now I have key for her.
what is next?
Okay. Next is our
Or
stitch to finish.
All right. So, stitch to finish. Last time, what do you? Oh, you just have the one.
Yeah, I just have the one.
Okay. So last time, I was working on the Prairie Schooler Santa 2023. So I got him finished. So he is one that I'm going to be doing a soft finish for this week. And then I spun the wheel and I spun a new start stitch to finish. And I spun Anytime Welcome banner. And it was a Faithworks design that was in our winter Stitching is Always in Season box. So it was a monochromatic design and I got that one finished. It was stitched on a 28 count even weave lamb's wool. So this is going to be one of my finishes this week. It's going to be just a small little wall hanging. And then I spun the wheel, and the next one that came up was a shepherd's bush design, Long May She Wave. And so I'm working on that one, and that one is almost finished. I have 2 more bands under here and it will be done. So this one will be finished this weekend. And it's going to look like, let's see, let me make sure I'm holding it up right. It will look like this. And I'm going to finish it as a needle roll because I think it'll be really cute in a dough bowl.
Or a tier tray.
Or a tier tray. Standing on a tier tray. All right, Marlene. And then, yes, go ahead and show
Yes.
yours. So
I'm still working on my St. Patrick's Day Quaker. This was a new start.
she's
stitch to
almost
finish.
done.
I just have one little section that I'm going to finish today, and then this will be done.
So
So
pretty.
that's what I have.
Now, did you use the called for colors?
No, I didn't. I pulled from stash. Most of them were, I think I used classic colors and some Weeks Dye Works.
And we used an Atomic Ranch 32 count fabric. It was one of the fabrics of the month, but I forgot to look up
Yeah.
to see what the color is.
Yeah.
And so she's almost finished with
Yes.
that. So then what
So
will you
then
be stitching
the
next?
next one that I'm
can
going
go
to-
over there.
The next one, oh, yes. The next one I'm going to work on will be, I'm not going to use this, will be, do you want to put this on the board?
Yes.
Will be my frosty bulb. And this is going to be a whip stitch to finish. So this is what I have done on it. I have a dangling thread, but I'm coming really well. This is when I started at Christmas time.
And this was a design by Teresa
Teresa
Corbett.
Corbett.
And
Teresa
it was
Corbett.
from the Chantel 141
yes.
ornaments box.
Ornaments
it was
box.
one of the 5
And
ornaments.
I can't remember. I'm using
She
40
stitched-
count.
No, 36 count Snowy Night
Okay.
by Color and Cotton.
Okay.
It's the same one that I used for that house, that last house that I
okay.
did. Very pretty. And then,
And then when I get this one done, then the next one I'm going to do is the May teacup. Cardine already did this one. So then that will be another new
and I actually
finish.
I fully finished that one too, but because it was in the China teacup, I didn't haul that one to Missouri.
No.
I will be working on another one. This was from the Summer Stitching is Always in Season box. The Beach is Calling. That I spun before we left El Paso. We spun a couple of times. So Long May She Wave was what came after the Anytime Welcome banner.
Yeah.
Then I spun, so that was a whip. Then I spun a new stitch to finish, and this one came up. This one is going to be very fast. So I spun the wheel for another whip, and the All Is Calm, which is my ornament that I was working on from Chantel's 141 ornament box. It was the one by Plum Street Sampler. And so I have that one. Oh, it fell down here. Just a minute. This is what I have done on that one. And I have a dangling thread on mine also. So that's my progress. And I'm stitching this one on Midnight Ride by XJU Designs fabric, using all the called for DMC colors. So there's that one.
And if I get my two done, I didn't bring it, but if I finish them after I finish the May teacup, then I'm going to be working on the Stitcher Shadow box.
Right.
But I didn't bring. I brought it along, but I didn't bring it up to show. So okay, so that takes care of our Stitch to Finish projects. So now we're going to do our regular stitching progress.
Were we showing our planners?
Oh, yeah. Let's do our planners now.
Okay, so do our little planner showcase.
Yes, we'll do our planner showcase. So this was mine from last week.
Go ahead.
Mine from last week.
Very pretty.
Yes.
We got lots of stitching, even though Friday was a full day of driving, so we didn't get very much stitching time, but we did stitch a little bit in the hotel room.
I stitched a lot in
Oh,
the car.
yes, you stitched in the car.
Yeah, you'll see that later.
That's mine.
It's hot in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting very hot.
It's very
Okay, so next we're going to do our regular stitching progress. So we're going to start with our 1 thread a day project. So I'm working on Quaker Rocky Road. This is being stitched on 25 count.
It's a Tempting Tangles design.
And it's being stitched on 25 count mushroom Lugana using the called for dinky dye floss. And I'm doing it one over one.
One strand, yes, over one fabric thread.
So I'm
look, you're getting really close. So this, you're filling in this right here now.
And then I have that other little corner of the bowl right there that I'll get done with this page. And then I'll be done with the bowl. So I'm coming very good.
Yay. Okay. And my 1 thread a day, I'm still working on the star for my nativity, the center panel. I'm stitching on 32 count light sand using, right now, it's all Kreinik braids.
Oh, that looks really good.
So I've been working on the main star right up here. I'm working on adding gold. And the Holy Family is down on that part. So that's my progress. And so I'm working on about, I pull off probably 18 inches to 24 inches of crinock braid because you can't stitch with that long of strands.
No.
And so it's coming along really pretty good. The light is really shining in here now.
Yes, it is. I was worried about that because it's going to be late afternoon now. So
Yeah.
hopefully it'll be okay.
Okay, I'll put this on and you
Okay.
can start.
Okay. So then I'm working for Mira Mondays. I'm working on Geranium from
Mirabilia.
yeah, it's Nora Corbett. It's one of her Blossom Pixie designs. And I'm stitching it on 32 count petal from Fiber on a Whim.
Picture This Plus.
Picture This Plus. And I'm using all the called for DMC thread and the called for crinock braid.
She's so pretty.
So right now I'm just working on all her little petals that make up her dress. So it's all the reds.
Ah, she's so pretty.
So it's very fun.
Oh, you know what? And before I was going to do my Mira Monday, I was going to show,
yes.
because I have one other project that I work on pretty much daily, and that is When Cardinals Appear by JBW Designs. And I stitch on this every time the Cardinals baseball team plays. And this is my progress. So let me show you that again. I stitch for 30 minutes. At some point when the game is on, I stitch for 30 minutes.
You're coming really good with it.
And this is my progress. I'm stitching it on,
There's a
I have a
dangling
dangling
thread,
thread because I just, that's
Stop.
where I'll pick up when that. So this is on 40 count Weathered Stone by Atomic Ranch. And it's called, using the called for colors, which are a couple of DMC, Weeks Dye Works, and just a couple of classic colors. All right, then my Mira Monday project is Wisteria. She is also a Nora Corbett design, a Pixie Blossom.
Pixie Blossom.
And I'm also stitching mine on the 32 count petal by Picture This Plus.
Oh, wow. You have a lot.
Using the called for colors. Yes, I got her wings all finished. I have, they're like outlined with
beads.
a bead.
Mine are too, I think.
It all of a sudden now it got dark.
Yeah.
So that is my progress on her. She is very fun.
Oh, that's really pretty.
We have a couple more Mondays that we'll continue to work on her.
Okay, then the next one we're going to do is our leap year project. So I am working on Houses of Hawk Run Hallow from Carriage House Samplings. And I'm stitching it on 40 count Embellish from Atomic Ranch. And I'm using, it was DMC, but I switched it. I switched it to the anchor threads. Okay, so I got my block 3 all done. So I got that all finished. And now I'm working on the block 4 on this lower right-hand section of it.
So she's right on track.
Yes.
It is so beautiful. You're stitching on, did you say?
Yes, 40 count Embellish.
Using DMC floss.
No,
Anchor floss.
Yeah.
Anchor floss. Very pretty.
Yes.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
I love it. It's really fun to work on.
Okay. And then my leap year start is Jenny Bean for the Parlor. There are 8 sections, so I'm working on part 3, which is Noah's Ark. And I'm working on the lower, do you want to point? I'm working on the lower left corner.
Right.
Yes,
With the little buildings and
the little buildings,
and the bottom of the ark.
I have a dangling thread on this one also. So that is my progress.
You got some of the, did you get some of the little
I
buildings
started
put in?
working, no, just the waves.
Oh, the waves.
The waves.
And the bottom of the ark is
And
outlined.
I outlined it. I started filling in, and I have just the little buildings will go here under the waves. I'm stitching this. This is a design by Shakespeare's Peddler, and it's 8 parts. And I'm working on the 3rd part.
It's really pretty.
And I'm stitching it on the called for fabric, which was ran. I'm stitching on 40 count ran, using all of the called for floss
and Ren was
sampler
by
threads. Ren is Picture This Plus. So that is my leap year project.
Here's the next one.
Okay.
Okay, and then on Wednesdays we do ladies' night out. So on Wednesday this month in May, we're both working on Bellaroma. We carried this one over from April. So this is a Joan Elliott design, and we're stitching it on Summer Sky. Summer Sky, and we're using Anchor Floss 2/2.
So Marlene has started some of the buildings of the landscape in back of her.
Some of the
So that's here in this
in the
area.
background. And then I'm working on her
This
bag.
this bag and all these flowers is really, that's what I spent this past Wednesday working on.
Yes.
Here, and then this hand, she's got some petals that she's just like dropping from her hand. And so it's a lot of confetti stitching. It took me a long time.
That's
So
why I
let me show
decided to
you.
fill in some of the background on mine. Because,
Oh, I forgot to show this one. I have to go back and show.
oh, no.
Okay. And here's my progress on mine. So that's what her bag is all complete now. And then her petals and her glove are done. And so next week when I work on her, I'm going to fill in her dress, and then I'm going to start working on the sky and the buildings in back of her here. She is so pretty. I'm stitching her on the same fabric that Marlene is using, the 32 count
And
summer
do you
sky.
have to do back stitching on
Yes.
the face for her
Yes.
eyes? Okay.
She needs, I haven't done any back stitching, of course, because the background isn't done. So, and then here I forgot to show, on Tuesdays, I also am working on my Sal's. I haven't worked at all on Teresa Koget's Hometown, but I did just get yesterday part 17.
There's 24 parts.
But I am also working on Jane Austen, which is a Sal, and I downloaded this from Etsy. And so this first band is for Sense and Sensibilities, and then the next band is Pride and Prejudice. And there are 6 bands on here. So I'm almost all the way across. There's just a tiny bit, and then the border comes down here. I'm stitching this on 40 count tumbleweed by Forbidden Fiber. And I'll show you the picture. Well, here it is. That's what it will look like.
That's really pretty.
Yeah, I like it. So that's my progress on that. I didn't work on it a lot, but I did get a little bit done.
Okay. Then on Thursday, we're doing a BAP. And we're both working on one of our chatelaine gardens. I'm working on Poison Garden. And I'm doing it on 32 count Graceful Gray. Which way does it go?
Yeah.
Is it on there?
Just a minute. We're getting it all such a big piece.
I think that would be okay. Yeah. So, and I'm using a variety of flosses, some anchor and some specialty
There you go.
threads.
What you want?
Okay. The over-dyed cottons. So that's what I have done. I'm
Oh,
just
it's so
working on
pretty.
this last section of the border with the Bella trope.
So pretty.
Yes.
So she is working on the center square right here. It's this. The Bella Atropa is here, and that is what she's working on right there.
No, and I have a pin stuck in there.
My chatelaine for Thursdays is Hawaii Garden. I'm stitching it on 30 count pecan shortbread using a variety of colors. And I am working on, it's not all gonna fit on here.
No, it's so big.
So I'm gonna show you what I worked on this week.
Oh,
I'm
that's not
working
done in black.
on,
I thought this was done in black too.
no,
Oh.
that inside part, see, it's here, metallic.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the same on all of them. So this is what I worked on this week, is this section. So I was putting in all these little triangular corners. Well, I got the outside border all done. I think I had that done last time.
Yeah, I think you said you were finishing these black lines. You had those
Yes.
black lines to
And
put in.
so now I'm working on putting in the corners, like these. There's metallics in here, and then these lines here on the other side. So I have 2 more sides to do for that. And
That's
so
so
that's
pretty.
yes. So that's what I'm
So
working
pretty.
on right now. So
Okay.
it's very fun.
Okay, then for our garden for Saturdays, we're doing a peacock, a unicorn, a badger from Scarlett Letter. And we're using all the called for DMC floss. And I'm stitching mine on 36 count antique white from Fabric Flair. So I'm going to be stitching it as the full coverage project. So this is what I have done. I have it all done all the way across the top of the page. I just have to fill in these circles here with the background color. And then I'm going to go down and outline the bee and get the bee put in. That's next.
Okay. And I am stitching mine on the dark green fabric from Roxy Floss Co.
Called Pub Crawl.
Pub Crawl. And I have this all finished here. and I've outlined the bee and the bird, so I'm ready to fill in. And then I'm gonna bring this border down a little bit further to the bottom of the page, because this is across the top of page one, and I need to bring it down a little bit further to be to the bottom of page one.
Yeah, I need to do that border along the
So this is 30, no, this is 40 count.
40 count.
Pub crawl.
Pub crawl.
And I'm also using the called for DMC floss.
You have that. I
Yes.
didn't see how it looked after you got it outlined.
So it's very pretty. And it's very
really
fun.
It's really
It
fun.
actually is really, really fun. So, oh, and Marlene, you were going to talk a little bit about how you were going to do your fill-in.
Oh, yes. Okay. So for my,
So she has a plan.
yes, for the background, when I have to fill in the background, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do put in the little motifs. Like I'm going to put in the little bee and the bird, and then I'm just going to go across and kind of section off a little section of background, and then I'll do 2 strands of the dark green thread and fill in a little bit, and then go on and keep working on some of the other motifs. And then the next time when I work in, I'll do 2 more threads. So of the dark green. So that way I just work on that border a little bit at a time, but I'm not spending my whole time doing nothing but
Filling in green. Yeah, so the
So-
background.
Anyway, so yeah, the background. So anyway,
All right.
that's my plan.
Then
You want to do your
on Sundays, we do our
Sampler.
samplers, Sunday samplers. So for May, I'm working on Dorothea by Scarlett Letter. And I'm stitching her on beige. She's kind of long, so she's not all gonna...
32 count beige.
32 count beige. And I'm using the DMC floss, the called for DMC colors. One strand of floss over two fabric threads.
2 fabric threads.
Okay, so I finally reached the edge. So this is how far across she is. And I am working right now on this page. So I got the deer, a good portion of the deer done. And then there's a couple of other motifs that go under here. And then I'll be ready to come back over here and start the grass and that goes underneath all of these motifs. And then there's a bunch of motifs that are satin stitches. So I'll be working on that. So it's very pretty. It's a very pretty sampler. I think it's funny how she did the Roman numerals here, and then she ran out of space. So then she put, here was 6, and then she put 7 up here. And then I think this was supposed to be 8, but she didn't have room to put the third one. So it's 7 again. So it's cute.
Yeah, and these are kind of far apart.
Yes. So
Very funny.
It's cute.
Yes.
Okay,
here's
what
your
are
chart.
you working on?
Mine is Sarah Milthorp from Hands Across the Sea. And I'm stitching it on 40 count Cream Brulee by Tabby Cat Linens. And I'm stitching with the 100.3s. The silks, 100.3s. And this is what I have done. I'm starting on the words. These are done. It said you were to use the Algerian eyes, but I don't really like doing those, so I'm doing mine in Smyrna crosses. And then the rest of the lowercase letters will be done over 1 thread. So I'll use a 10th stitch to finish the rest of the lettering.
And this was 40 count?
40 count,
Tabby Cat
linen Cream Brulee.
All right. Then I had
Very pretty.
A couple of other projects that I was working on. Did one fall down?
Mine is
Yes.
done.
You're done?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have any more projects to show.
Okay, I have a couple more projects because I have been working on my May. It was a new start for New Year's Eve. And it's Morning Glory Manor by Shannon Christine. And I have a dangling thread.
It's really pretty.
And I've been trying, although I haven't been very good, to get 30 minutes of stitching in on this every day. So I'm stitching it on 32 count raw linen using the called for DMC colors, 2 strands of floss over one, two strands of floss over 2 fabric threads. 2 over 2.
2 over 2. Ooh, I love that blue.
Yes, really pretty. So I'm getting to
really
start up
pretty.
there. So I'm right
Very
here
pretty.
above the house, right in here. I'm doing this because I've got the roof done.
Oh, so you did a center start this time.
Yes, I did a center start because it was easiest to start on the house than up here on this border. So, and I'm not going to put the year. I'm going to put something, I think a Bible verse there.
That's very pretty.
And then I've also been working on my Primrose Cottage Spring Quaker.
Where is that? I don't remember putting that in your stash.
Yeah, it's over
Oh,
here.
it's right there. Okay, it's small.
And I am stitching it on, I think,
You're using,
I don't know,
Vintage.
taupe.
oh, taupe.
And I have a dangling, well, no, I just have a, and this is my, I'm almost done. Now the lighting is very strange. So I have just this corner up here left. I'm using the Blooming Crocus, which was the called for color, but then I'm using, and the colors are not showing up pretty here. I'm using the 3 new colors from Classic Colors. So apple cider, green tea, and sparkling rosé. And it's a very pretty color, spring palette colors.
It's very
And then the last project that I've been working on is Rabbits. I'll take that one. By Stitching with the Housewives.
This is her
and-
word swap.
My word swap, yes.
How cute.
And so this one is coming along very slowly. So I have the rabbit outlined. Now I'm filling it in. Tulips is done. I worked on that a couple months ago. So slowly but surely, rabbits is getting done. And then I will go on to daisies. All right.
They're
That
very cute.
is
I
all
like
my
them.
stitching.
Okay, that's stitching progress.
That's stitching progress.
Okay, so then, then for Stitch Mania, we each had a new start this week. We both got to start our Satsuma Street Turtle Doves.
And for Stitch Mania, for those of you who maybe haven't tuned in before, Marlene and I are doing, we did a March Madness,
Yes.
and we had 32 projects in March Madness that didn't get any stitches put in. So those 32 projects are getting stitched on now in May, and they get a minimum of 100 stitches. Which is why Marlene and I both have the same amount in, because this was, I think, 110 stitches.
I think so.
So we both
Oh,
did
and
the
I
same
meant
amount.
to add up my stitches for Stitch Mania.
Oh, yes.
and we
We
forgot.
were going to. Well, we'll do it at the end of
Yeah.
the month because we
Yeah.
have a Flosstube on the 30th. So then we'll talk about our total stitches for Stitch Mania.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
Then another project that I had for Stitch Mania was my June Pearl Fairy. And so I was just going to show my progress on her. She didn't get a lot of stitches, but she got some stitches yesterday. I think it was yesterday. One day this week.
Yeah. It might have been Wednesday. I don't remember.
I'm
Very
stitching
pretty.
her on light taupe using the Cobford DMC colors and some chronic braid, but I haven't had to put any chronic braid in yet. So that's my progress on her. She was one of my Stitch Mania.
And one of my Stitch Manias that I just did yesterday or maybe Wednesday was Changing Seasons. I haven't gotten this one out for forever.
This was a Fox and Rabbit.
Yes,
It
Fox
was
and
the
Rabbit,
free
one of the
design
mystery- Yes.
in 2022. And so
I'm stitching it on light sand using mostly anchor thread, but I am using some Trinway silks also. So it's not all going to show because it's so big, but this is what I have done.
and what did you work on?
I
You
worked
worked
on-
on this.
Yeah, that big flower right there. Can you hold it for just a minute and let me see if I can put another paper up here? Well, I guess it doesn't really help. So that's what I worked on. So, and I have the center square mostly done also. Well, I do have it all done. The center square and a little bit of the other outer squares here. So I have a little start on a lot of pieces, but I just haven't.
But there's a
worked on
lot
it.
left to do.
Yes, but I have a ton left to do. So anyway, but it was very fun to get it out and work on it. So I'm kind of
It's
excited.
beautiful.
I'm excited to work on it again.
I'm going to just show just a minute. I want to just show, because what Marlene did was she chose colors that to her were each season. So this is her spring, and she used pinks, shades of pink.
And
so
I
she's
used-
got that down here
Yeah.
in this
This
square.
in the center where it changes color, that's the Trinway silk, and I also use the Trinway silk in this box.
And then over here in the summer corner, this was summer, she used more purples. So that's here. And she started filling in here, and then this is done. And then down here in autumn, she used fall colors. So that is here. And then in the winter, she did blues. So it's really beautiful. And which was your overdyed?
The one in the center.
Oh, you
was
did the
this right here.
Smyrnas. Yeah.
The Smyrnas with the overdyed. And I'm going to use that again on that very outer border with these flowers right here. I'll use that again right there. These flowers that go diagonal. I'm going to use that again there.
Okay, so there's that.
Yes, so anyway, so that's
All right. Then we had a tiny bit of haul. Before we left El Paso, an order came in that Nancy had got. So we each ordered the Nativity Tiny Town from Heart and Hand. And I got the frill as well. And Marlene will be getting the frill too, because I want to make sure that I have the Wiseman in my nativity scene. So that.
And
Then we
on
went-
Monday, we went to Branson and we went to Cecilia Stemplers. And we got the new Primrose Cottage chart.
One of the new ones.
Yes, one of the new ones.
It was the trio. So we
Yes.
got the pattern for the house, the little biscornu, and then the little pillow that says Stitcher's gonna stitch. But we bought the mesh bag, the It's So Emma plaid bag.
Mad for plaid bag.
And we bought this for Linda also. So she got it as a little get well gift. And then we just bought a skein of the Pro Cotton floss. And we'll use that. I don't know if it'll be enough if we have to buy another skein, but we just divided it up between the three of us. And it'll get us started on the project. So we kitted that up for Linda, and then we're all going to start it, I think, this weekend
Yes,
one day.
sometime this weekend. Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that as a sister start.
Yes.
So that will be fun.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
And was that it for haul?
Yes.
Okay.
That was it for haul. Okay, then for what's coming up. We're going to both be continuing to work on our Stitch May-Nia projects. So some of the Stitch May-Nia projects that are coming up. I forgot to
We
do.
have a new starts. I have one new start coming up for Stitch May-Nia. Actually, yes, and then one more, but it's at the very end of the month. So this is Santa Over Toronto, which is by Lindy Stitches, and it was in the Baubles book from Jingle Ball this past year, this one. And so this is the one that I will be starting. What is your new start?
One of my new starts is going to be, I just have to do it like this. Because,
Okay.
One of my new starts is going to be the next stocking from Annie B's, the 12 Days of Christmas stocking. So I'm going to start number 4. That's the one that got...
You're working on 3 also?
No, I haven't started 3 yet.
Oh.
It was 3 and 4, but 3 didn't win the game, so they didn't get
4.
part.
Okay.
They didn't get to be part of
All
March
right.
Madness. So...
And then do you have another one also?
Yes, and then I'm also going to be starting number 2 for the Shannon Christine 12 Days of Christmas ornaments. So I'm going to get to start this one.
Marlene is doing 4 sets, right? Of 12 Days of
3
Christmas.
sets.
3 sets. Satsuma Street, the Annie B's,
and this one.
the Shannon Christine. So she's working on 3 different sets
Yes,
of
and I didn't get to start one yet because it got
so you'll
booted
have
up.
to go back.
Yes.
Okay, then I am going to do a new start, and I mentioned this in the last Flosstube that I wanted to do Ladybug Picnic by Hands On Design, and I was deciding on fabrics, and one of our viewers gave me a wonderful suggestion. She said she had seen it stitched on a light green fabric, and we had just gotten a new fabric from Atomic Ranch called Oz, and she said that fabric might look really pretty. And so I did a floss toss. So that's the fabric, and here are my colors that I'm going to be using. So
You don't have them on a ring yet.
I don't have them on a ring. They're just all loose. So just a minute.
That's
Let me
going to
try
look
to-
really cute, I think.
I think it's going to be really cute. I think all the colors are going to show up fabulously. So that is going to be Ladybug Picnic. So thank you very much for that suggestion. It was a wonderful, wonderful idea.
Yes, that's going to be really cute.
And so that one is going to also get started this weekend. I'm
And then-
going to start that one.
And then I have one more that I'm going to start for Stitch May-Nia.
Well, a start.
It's another new start, and it's going to be the monthly mini April from Primrose Cottage. And so that's going to be another new start. And then I have May already started. That's my focus project, but I haven't gotten to work on that one yet.
And then on Memorial Day, I am going to be starting this one. So I picked a day. I've already pulled my colors and cut my fabric. So this one will be started on Memorial Day. Freedom. It was from the Summer Just Cross Stitch magazine. And it's by October Fiber House.
That's really cute.
I like it. I think it's very cute.
That will be fun.
And then I have one last one that I'm going to be working on, which is Welcome by
Welcome
Stitching
Home
with the Welcome Home Summer by Stitching with the Housewives. I have a tiny, tiny, tiny little start. I actually started it for
12 by 12.
12 by 12 last year. And then in the meantime, the winter one came, which is what I wanted to work on right then. And so I did that instead of continuing working on this one. So now I'm going to work on this one. So I will be stitching this one on 32 count charcoal linen.
I like stitching on that.
I do too. And the colors look really pretty. So I've got all the floss and everything for this one. And I'll be working on that one.
That's very good.
Okay. Do we have anything else?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
We didn't do a giveaway this time.
Being out of town was a little hairy, so no giveaway this week, but we will do one the end of the month. So make sure you check back with us.
And please leave us a comment, even though we don't have a
Yes,
giveaway.
we still would love to hear
want
you.
to hear
We'd
from
love
you.
to hear
Yes.
something you did for Mother's Day.
Yes.
And
or of course something you're stitching on.
something you're stitching on, something you did for Mother's
Plans
Day,
for Memorial Day.
something you have planned to start. I know we have a number of people who started a peacock, a unicorn, a badger. So if you are one of those people, we'd love to see your progress. We've had a couple people post in the Facebook group. We do have a Facebook page, a Facebook group called Sun City Stitchers. There are 3 questions you need to answer, and then Marlene or I will add you to the group. So we'd love to have you join us over there. And but anyway, if you haven't posted your progress pictures, we'd love to see how you're doing on your
project.
Pea corner. Marley and I are calling it the pea corner because it's so long to say. But the other people said they were going to call theirs their pub.
Yeah, their pub.
For peacock, unicorn, badger. That's cute too.
Yeah, that's a good
So
idea.
we hope that you have plans for a wonderful weekend, that where you are, the weather is nice, that it's starting to look like summer and feel like summer. And we want to just wish you a very happy weekend filled with lots of stitching. And remember that a day without laughter is like a day without sunshine.
So wherever you are, bring your own sunshine.
And keep on stitching. We'll see you in 2 weeks.